This is the time of year to make this video simply because many of you watching will be heading back to school next week. I don't know what it's like for everyone, but most students in the UK will be going back next week and entering a new school year. Some of you will be going off to a new school and meeting loads of new people. Especially if you're going off to a big secondary school that's much bigger than your primary school, you'll meet lots of people. And this is a great opportunity. Meeting new people means that you get to try new things. And one of those new things that many new students will be interested in is speedcubing. I mean, my channel is called speedcubing.org. I'll tell you my experience at school. When I first finished primary school, I was the only one in my class who could solve a cube. Then I went to secondary school. There were other cubers there who I quickly met. They introduced me to proper speed cubes. I was just using a terrible old cube at the time. I soon got a Dian Zanchi, a Moyu Sulong, and later a Moyu Aolong V2. These were some of the best cubes at the time, and they allowed me almost instantly to drop my solve times from around 1 minute 20 to 45 seconds. There were two other cubers in my year at a similar level. We would race each other at break times, and soon we started a speed cubing club. This opened it up to even more people, and they started learning how to solve cubes. We also tried other puzzles, such as pyraminxes, 2x2s, later 4x4s, although I didn't learn how to solve a 4x4 for another year. But towards the end of the year, interest died down. And by the summer, I was the only one actively cubing. For the next year, I started up the cubing club again. The new students coming in were impressed with my ability to solve cubes and wanted to learn for themselves. I helped them learn, and Cubing Club got bigger. In 2016, in my third year of secondary school, I went to my first competition. This inspired me to further pursue speed cubing, and from then on, I encouraged other cubers to go to one. Competitions were not as frequent back then though, and many were a long way to go. And to be fair, they still are. In 2016, Harry Owen started coming to Cubing Club. He would eventually go on to be faster than me in most WCE events. And he recently came third in Scube at the UK Championships. He went to his first competition in 2017, and we have been to many competitions together ever since then. Each year we would introduce cubing to a new cohort of students and try to encourage them to learn to solve cubes. We also organised house cubing, a school cubing competition. While this was often taken over by teachers and run very differently from proper competitions, we did manage eventually to run it ourselves, although that got disrupted by lockdown. House cubing was actually the only time I have ever done an FMC attempt outside of an official WCA competition. You never know the legacy that you leave with something like this. I was told years later that someone had started up the Cubing Club once more. Someone that went to Cubing Club when I ran it years and years ago and now got back into cubing and wanted to start it up again. And I was invited back earlier this year to see that. Cubing is very different now. We have such a range of excellent cubes available at cube stores such as my own. Talking of which, if you don't know, I run speedcubing.org. I mean, there's literally cubes all behind me, which is one of the UK's largest online cube stores. I regularly sponsor official competitions and sell cubes there too. I provide an excellent range of speed cubes, and as a top speed cuber myself, my product recommendations and advice are based on real experience and practice with these cubes. If you're looking to get yourself the latest speed cubes and some unique and interesting alternative twisty puzzles, then look no further than speedcubing.org. There are cubing competitions almost every weekend, somewhere in the UK. And there are many cubing clubs springing up. But if you want the cubing community to grow, then you should make it your mission this new school year to introduce students at your school, both new and old, to the joys of speed cubing. Help them to learn to solve cubes. And once they are ready, engage them in friendly competition. The resources we now have available provide such a head start in doing this, and it would be great to see another generation of speedcubers rise up. You never know, someone you introduce speedcubing to may end up being one of the best, or even if not, you may provide them with something to do and prevent them going down a bad path. If you want to set up your own school cubing club, then I would recommend first finding out if there are any other cubers around. If not, then you should probably try to get some others interested first. Then you can approach a teacher and see if they would be willing to help with it. Think about teachers that you like. Maths teachers are usually most interested because there is the impression that cubing is mathematical, even though it's not for our purposes, at least. But any teacher could be willing to do it. You can then get a room and hopefully a regular time for the club. You can then try to put up posters advertising around the school. Think about obvious locations that people will actually see. There is no point in a poster in a location hidden away. So that's about it. You're going back to school next week, maybe. If not, well, why are you still watching? And why not help grow speedcubing? That's about it.